All right. Okie dokie. Hey, how you doing? If you see my eyes shifting up, it's because I'm looking at the monitor up there. All right. Okay. If you hear some high-pitched yakking going on, that's because I'm watching Artfully Yours with Diana. She'll be on in a few minutes, I would presume. So I'm looking at her while I'm yet doing this. Okay, but I have it on the big screen TV, so you might really hear her. And I may have to get up and turn it down, but we'll see. Okay, we have, I think this is 12 by 16 inch watercolor paper on canvas. This time I used acrylic paint with vegetable glycerin. All right, and we're just gonna play around with some clouds. I'm gonna get a nice batch of clouds, a few different layers, add some brown in there to give some depth in and out and whatnot. So I'm just really messing around, nothing really specifically in mind. Okay, using this. Oh yeah, I might have to turn that down a little bit because I know you guys can hear that. So hold on one second. Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely turn that down. You're gonna definitely hear that because I got about 3 subwoofers going. So hold on one second. Okie dokie. Couple of my buddies got those interesting beginning and ending graphics going on. I think it's pretty fun. Anyway, okay, we got ultramarine blue, that baby blue, sky blue, whatever you want to call it, titanium white, and some ochre. Burnt ochre. Let's take a nice wide fan brush. All right, and we're gonna get some various things going on with the cloud situation. Now this is paint mixed in with glycerin. Okay, so we're gonna just get ready to get in here. And for the concept, I'm just gonna kind of mix some stuff up in here. I'm gonna go pretty far down with it. All right. I'll kind of pop some in here, just like that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna build layers off of this. Okay. Now with each layer, and I'll probably end up using this brush exclusively, more than likely. I'm gonna use a tighter brush here, and what we're going to do is really just kind of wisp and fade some of the stuff. I'm going to try to do it as best as I can, as fast as I can, because once again, this is paint included in the glycerin, so it's not going to really hold its blending nature too quickly. So you're going to have to really work at it. I'm not going to get rid of a lot of that intensity. I'll fade out the bottom, fade out the top a little bit. Keep things pretty interesting. Now stuff will fill up fairly quickly here. This is the first layer, so it could probably be blended in the most. And we're going to start playing with color mixes and all that fun stuff. Because I can feel it kind of tacking up in areas, but that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm not going to really wipe the brush off. I won't need to. We're going to go right into our darker blue. And I particularly like the kind of going from the corner. Like that. Now if I have to, I will add more glycerin to it in bits if I have to. All right. And then I'll, same thing, kind of blend all of this in. Have some meat. Because like I said, I can start to feel it getting tacky, but that's okay. Right now I'm just traveling the colors around, having them blend off and on, but it's not a total blend. Don't try to over blend, but just try to get a nice interesting sky pattern going here. Different variations of clouds. We're going to add a little bits of white in here. Now the white, I may add a little glycerin to get it to flow around. We'll see, because the more layers of paint you add onto this, obviously it's going to get rid of the glycerin and paint mixture, so it's not gonna blend as smoothly. So what I'm doing is pressing a little bit. I don't have to cover the whole thing, but you see all sorts of interesting little happenings going on with it. And like I said, we still got a little bit of glycerin, still a little action happening there. I'm going to take some of this cloud stuff and kind of blend it into the white and glycerin mix down there. And I can just kind of do the X strokes, because remember there's white in here. I don't have to go too far down, but I can kind of blend it. That's basically all I'm doing here, is just kind of smoothing all that out. It doesn't matter if this far below. Okay. All right, as I'm checking it out, if I have to go to a smaller brush to do the blending because the paint is getting a little tacky, I will do that also. So I will get a smaller blending brush with shorter hairs. I don't know if anybody's in there saying hello to me. Yeah, there she is. Sonia Shane, how are you? Oh no, I'm not gonna get a copyright hit. One is copyright free music, so that's not going to happen. All I do is just turn it down. But it's copyright free music that you hear coming from her site, so no, I won't get that. I'm gonna add a little bit of sky blue to this white before I go total white. So I am going to brighten it up a little bit. Okay. Right where you see little blank areas, once again, I'll do the same thing. A little, see all this, just a little, dance it around a little bit here and there. Come out here, pop some up in here a little bit, have it travel around, dance, twist your brush around a little, just like that. Go right on across the page. All right. Now I'll try it with this brush first and see how well it does. And it seems to be doing okay so far. I might use a smaller brush to it depends on how dry it is. Like I said, I'll keep messing with it. We're going to do a few more layers. This is not the last layer. Okay, but you know, if you guys hear a little bit of mumbling over there, that's cool. I can see her her chat going on. She knows I'm watching. But other than that, because they're doing their art thing, and it's cool. There we go. Now we got all sorts of layers, all sorts of interesting stuff going on and happening here, and it's not totally white. It's mixed in with that, whoops, with that sky blue. All right. Now we can have a little fun. Let's go into our darker blue. I'm going to add a little bit of white to the darker blue. Get a little more dark blue. Add a little white to it. Okay. Now I'll come up here. Add a few little dabs of whatever in here, just like that. And I'll use the same size brush. And basically, I'm just getting different hues, different values of colors going on, blending them all together in there. They will all mix and blend together. Okay. Let me clean off this brush. I'm gonna go with a smaller brush. I'm gonna keep doing it and keep doing it. We're just gonna mix layers and layers of clouds. Yes, I don't have nothing really. Hey, Rosemary, Madonna, how are you? Shane, Sonia, good to see you guys. So I'm still staring at some things here. I still want a little bit of darkness up there in that corner, just a little bit, so I'll kind of play around in here. Now I can use this same brush that you see me putting the clouds on with. I can use it to, I can even blend with this cloud, or with this brush. Same concept. I just keep blending it away. Now this is glycerin and paint mixed together. Okay, so that's what's happening here. And once again, small circular strokes. The more you do it, the more it blends, the more it smooths out. So I can use the same brush to also blend. Come on in here a little bit, just like that. I'll get some white and we'll kind of play around in the middle. I'll take a smaller blending brush and just kind of float it along right up in there. See, I don't have to get rid of everything. And I'm gonna keep it going. Now I can add a little bit of brown in this. A little brown. I'll try brown and a little bit of light blue. Get a nice some gray going on in there. And you would put this, oh, we can kind of play around in the bottom down here like this. Come out here this way. Let's go in here a little bit and bring it up in here. Just like that. And you start adding a little depth in your painting with this off color. You kind of marry both those colors in together. And you'll see things starting to happen. This you want to blend in with your sky, particularly on the bottom end in here. I'm pressing a little hard. Get that blend in there. Pop that in there a little bit. The more you blend, the more it goes in there. Don't be discouraged, because you can go over some of this darker color. But what it does is it sets some clouds back, but it also brings certain brighter clouds forward as you do it. This is white paint and vegetable glycerin together being mixed in here. So once again, all a building process. Let's get a little bit of darker blue right in here. And some of this brown. Now that's really going to be dark. It's just because I'm using a darker blue. And we can kind of pop some of that up in here like this. Just like that. Let's come on, play around in the bottom down here. Come up to here. Let's bring some of that out there. Just like that. All right. Let's go up here first. All right. Just like so. Pop it in there. And you can control how much of this you want going on. If you feel it's too dark or you got too much happening, you can always replace it with more white, blue, whatever. I'm spending a little more time on this cloud so I can really show you, if you spend more time with it, you know, you're gonna get more of that effect happening. Okay. I have an even smaller brush. It's just a makeup brush. I got an even smaller one if I want to get more into detail, or if I want to keep some of the intensity, some of the darkness of what's happening here. I can use that also. Okay. Hey Jessica, I see you. What's going on? I see you. I see you. Now some of my glycerin and paint, because it does dry faster when you add glycerin and paint, it does dry quicker. So you're going to need a heavier hand to get some of this to blend. And my room is getting warmer. This stuff is still activated by warmth. Okay. So I can see that a lot of it's not going to blend well. That's just because it's warm in here. It's starting to dry because once again, there's paint mixed in with the vegetable glycerin, but that's okay, because remember, you can go over all of this. So this is just not a one-step process, and it's all right. If you can still see some of that stuff happening, don't worry about that. I'm gonna show you. I'm going to show you. I can just, well, basically use a smaller fan brush, and you'll see. I'll use a smaller fan brush. Let me just find one here. I guess I'll use this fella. I really don't like to really use the hog's hair ones. They're a little on the rough side, but we'll work with it. We'll work with it. Let's go with our little light blue. We'll put it, we'll put it here and we'll mix a little white in there. I'm going to use an even smaller brush than this. All right. So I'm going to clean this off real quick. Let's see, we even have a smaller, tighter brush. Now watch what I'm going to do with the lighter stuff. So we got some of this light stuff here, and we're going to kind of pop it in there. See, you can get interesting shapes that kind of travel along, like so. And now I'm going to start to really blend some of this stuff in there together. Let's kind of bring some of that out there like this. All right, see, a lot of interesting little shapes you want happening, going on. And we'll start to kind of mix that in there. See, it smooths out some of those rough brown edges there. The reason why I can actually get away with doing what you see me doing is because there's a little bit of tackiness left in that paint. So smaller hairs, stiffer brush, and you see, you're just getting all sorts of tones and all sorts of things going on with that. But as you can see, all that dark, all that sets back and it brings everything else up towards the front. Okay. All right, let's get a little bit of white. Now I can add glycerin. Well, it's paint and glycerin mix, but I can add a little bit of this. I'll put it right here. I can add the glycerin paint mix to this titanium white. And what will that do for me? Well, that'll just kind of smooth stuff out. And it's straight white too, so it's definitely gonna just be up on top up here somewhere. So there's glycerin in this mix. All right, and I can take it and I can kind of play around with it, stir it up and around, smooth some of that out. Really just kind of have a good time with it and put it where I want it. Okay, I don't have to lose the intensity. I can go and put it anywhere I want. Okay. Wipe off my brush, kind of thin things out a bit, fade it a little bit. Come out here a little with it. All in what you want to do. Okay. Now I got glycerin on there. I could just take straight titanium white. And if I want to kind of bump up an area like that, now I can start adding little patterns and paths in this. That's just straight paint. Okay. So I can kind of direct what I want to do, where I want to go, what I want brightened, what I want to be a little more subdued. Truly up to you. The more you blend, the more it's gonna kind of get in there with that other color. All right. Okay, I'm still going into my titanium white here. You work a little briskly now, all right, because a lot of this is kind of dry or getting tacky. So whatever you want up on top, pretty much like what I'm doing here, I can kind of wave it around, twist it, but I kind of want to build certain layers in places like that. You work a little more briskly now because it's going to dry almost immediately. So wherever you want some of this stuff to go. The bulk of it all in here, all that brightness is, I just smooth it out, but I don't want it to necessarily disappear. Down below it can go bye-bye. It's all right. But you're just slowly building up little bits and layers. I want to bring some of that probably out and up a little bit. So I'll go back into my white. I might tease a little bit of glycerin in there. Up in here. And maybe I'll start it. I'll do it right up in here a little bit. Something like that. I just want to bring that out a little more. And you see I'm messing with the outside edge. Get those little wavy bits going. I can kind of pounce, and if I want to keep the intensity, I just kind of tap on it a little bit. All right, and then we'll kind of wave some of this, blur some of this out down here. softly tap some of that. So keep some of the intensity in there. Smooth it out a little bit. Okay. Going into a little bit of blue, going into a little bit of brown. I'm gonna use some of this glycerin and white just to smooth all that out and get a little more brown in there. And I'll come up in here. Have some interesting things happening all up in here. And I can kind of trail it out like this. Nice little line in there. Kind of press and marry some of those together in there like that. I'm just blurring it into the white cloud a little bit. Then up in here, we can kind of really, and I'm pressing pretty good just to move this paint around. You can't be scared to use this stuff. You can't be scared to be a little heavy-handed with it. And just smooth it out. Not really any super sharp edges. Once again, I'm just trying to make it look really interesting. You see, the clouds are a little wild, but and it still gives a sense of movement that's happening with this. Okay. Now, once again, I should be looking at this, but I'm looking over here because it looks like a different person is painting. As weird as it sounds, it looks like a different person is painting, so I get a new perspective when I look up at the screen, which is why I'm not looking at this camera directly. I'm looking up at the screen to make sure that everything is right. Okay, and once again, for those of you who have not come in, this is, I'm going to take this blending brush as I'm talking to you here. And I'm going to slowly deepen this corner. Why am I deep this corner? Because it brings out some of those softer clouds. It makes them, bring them up to the front. It brings this to the back a little bit more. This is 12 by, I think it's 12 by 16 here. And as you can see, what I'm doing, okay, is very, very, very coy doing it. But I'm just bringing a little bit of this dark in there, just a little bit. Smooth it in there, just a tad. I can soften it again if I feel I need to. Put some of that light blue in there and soften it a bit. See, you can always bring stuff back. Okay. This is how you just build layers. See, you can always soften all of that and bring it back. And make sure you kind of marry the two colors together. Slap them in there a little bit. Hey, Senzo, what's going on, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, Jessica, I do have my coffee. I do have it. Okay, let's clean off this. Now, once again, this is a hog's hair brush. Jeez, she's happy dancing people to death over here today. I guess she got quite a few people. All right, let's take let's see if I can find it first. Let's put this back. I'm looking for my there it is. Okay, I'm just looking for a script liner brush, and I'm dipping my script liner brush in some water. This always works better with water than vegetable glycerin. Okay, vegetable glycerin, when you put paint on it, it tends to sit on top. Not what you want. All right, I just got to get some bright white here. Now, just by the look of it, the sunlight is somewhere out this way. And since it is, I have to be careful because this is paint and water mix. I'm gonna get some silver linings, and I'm just gonna tap on a few. Try to follow your path of your clouds when you add this stuff. Very thin little lines, just like that. You see how it looks, and you see that effect. It's like direct sunlight is hitting there, and keep it pretty much in one direction, and you can see it. You can see the path. Okay, you can create your own path like I'm doing right now. Okay, but keep it pretty much central in one path there. All right, but now you see the difference. You see what's going on with it way out here, and it's creating a sense of depth when you do this. Okay, I don't have to add a crap load of them, just a few in key spots. And basically, you see the funny hand formations I'm doing. It's just really keeping my hand steady, and plus, if I got loose glycerin around somewhere, it keeps me from smearing it half to death. That's just a bummer when that happens. All right, enough of that. That's fine right there. Now, what I did, I just shown you a direction of where the sunlight is. Obviously, it's in that area because everything else is surrounded. It's got a little dark, okay. But you got your main brightness in here. All right. And remember, this is just me layering and layering and layering and layering. If you want more depth, if you want stuff smoothed out even more, you can even take a little bit of glycerin and some shadow color, and you can start adding cute little shadow bits in here. I mean, you can really go to town doing something like that. But I'm gonna keep it just like this. But you can really spend a lot of time doing stuff like this. Because we have our different hues and different values of blue. Even with the brown, you got this grayish blue going on. You can use purple, you can use red, bits of any color to really put it in there and color up little spots and places of your sky. The darker you have for a glaze color, the more detail and stuff will come out on this. All right, I can give you an example of it since I'm talking about it. Let's wipe off a lot of this. I'll just kind of scrape it off and get rid of it here. Now, with when you thin out acrylic paint, and I do use heavy body acrylics, when you thin it out, and it does tend to dry up on you very fast. Acrylics do dry fast, even with a medium in it. It will dry much faster than oils. That's for certain. Okay. All right, let's get a little bit of this umber. We're gonna go with a darker tone. It's gonna gray it out, turn it this weird kind of color there. All right, mix it, because I just want a shadow color. Now, when I use a dark shadow color, like this, for instance, okay, I can use a few different things. I'm gonna use this instead. Okay. Now, I just realized something. I have to use, let me do something here. Wait a minute. Now, I'm gonna show you something while I got the time and the patience to, let me show you something. I'll bring it here. This is vegetable glycerin and white crack paint mixed together. 60-40. It all depends on what you're looking for. Okay. 60% glycerin, 40% white paint. You can do it the other way around too, but remember, if you do it the other way around where there's more paint than glycerin, it's going to dry that much faster. All right, but it's usually for blending and whatnot. But that's what I have here. Okay, and yes, it's fairly messy, so I kind of will wipe the edges. It is messy, but this is a Tupperware-ish type of container. One that I know I won't be putting food in anytime too soon. It's been retired. All right. Save your marriage and buy your own. Don't borrow none from the pantry. All right. That was a marriage tip you can have for free. All right, I'll put the lid on it. But it is pretty sloppy stuff. I'll put it back over here. To get a good glaze, traditionally you use more glazing medium than you would paint. Okay. All right. We'll use this brush right here, this little tiny one. All right. I'm just dipping into my vegetable glycerin. I'll put it right here. Obviously you can't see it. I'm gonna get a little bit of paint and you just put it in there like that. Now that's really a lot of glycerin and a little bit of paint. Add some more of that there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. So we got our glycerin and paint mix. You can kind of squeeze some of that out of there. Now, what's gonna happen when I apply this to anywhere on here? What's gonna happen is that more values and more of the changes in this dark will pop out more. You follow me? Even if you put it in the light areas. Okay. And that's what's going to happen. Whatever's dark is going to be set back. Whatever's lighter is going to still come up. All right. So that means that when I do this, when I apply it like that, when I apply this, whatever's back there is really going to come out, and whatever's in the foreground will really pop out. All right. Now, of course, you see the lines and whatnot that'll disappear. We'll take care of that. But whatever I want subdued a little bit, this is how you add it in there. Okay. You can soften it up. See? You can press a little harder. You can soften it all up. Don't worry. Hashtag. Don't panic. It's okay. I just wipe it away because you can still manipulate this stuff. You just wipe it off and you go in between. See? You go in between. See that? See how you can easily soften that stuff? Okay. You add as much as you want or as little as you want. Or you just take it right out of there. Really up to you. Okay. I will take a bigger brush and a softer hand, and you just kind of just stir it around. It just blends away. And you do as much or as little as you want. But you see, it really, really, really darkens it up. You can smooth it out. Okay. And that's just doing it on that one part. Okay. I can take some of this. You can put some of that up here. Once again, it's just a simple glaze of color. You add as much or as little of it as you feel you you need. All right. But you see, all sorts of stuff is going on in there. Okay. You can add it in the mid parts, the darker parts. It's truly up to you. You can add some and take it away. It's still gonna leave a little trail of whatever. Right. So I can go here in the lighter areas, just like this. See? All right. Just wipe it off the brush, and whatever excess you don't particularly want, see, just wipe it away. It's still gonna leave a residue, but that's all right. Because if you wipe hard enough, you wipe it right out of there. See that? So you see what's happening and what's going on, and yet I'm still keeping it surrounded. That's still the brightest part. You got me? All right. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. I don't need no more of that. I can easily just wipe that away. It's no big deal. There, no fuss, no muss. All right. Okay. Let's add some red to that. Add a little brown to it too. A little Prussian blue there. And what I'm adding is just a mountain mix. So it's Prussian blue, cad red, and let me tell you exactly what this is. This is burnt raw umber. Excuse me, raw umber. I do have two different size palette knives. And what I'm gonna do is just mix this stuff together. It will almost turn just about black, even with that red. Now, umber is a brown with green in it. Green and red are opposites on the color wheel. So you add green and red, it browns each other out. Okay. And of course, red will turn blue into a deep violet. So you get a bunch of powerful dark colors around each other. All right. That's what this mixture is as of right now. It's just a really deep purple brown mix right now. All right, and that's what you see going on there. But once you put it here, it will look almost like a soft black. And I need that one for dark contrast against what you see here. All right, okie dokie. No one's chatting. No one has any questions. The cone is silent. Okay then. Coffee break. You would figure, since I'm wearing this cartoon shirt on, that I would go see the movie. I didn't see it yet. Oh, I know you're there, Jesse. I know. Well, I'm really speaking with others who are interested in painting if they had any questions or anything. And, you know, I could answer them. I'm just getting a nice glob of paint. Now, no glycerin, no medium, no nothing. Okay. All right. Let's do it here. Something like that. Yeah, it's just going down that way. Yeah. All right. Bring it down. How far down? Really up to you. It's your mountain. You bring it as far as you want to bring it. It's really up to you. I got plenty of this stuff, so I'll probably end up bringing it down quite a ways. I don't want to waste it, you know. So I just kind of mess with it down here. No glycerin, it's just pure paint. As long as I got a dark base, really don't matter. Just the way that I'm doing it. You know, I would rather have a deep base here. I'll do something different today. I'll just color it all in. We'll do something different. We'll just block it all in. We'll do something. Let's see if we can pull it off anyway. It's been a while since I did something like this, so I might as well. Why not? Can't hurt nothing. But I want you to see something. Now you see how much more depth is in the painting already. Okay. Now you see that white that's creeping up in there? That's because the paint is not necessarily fully dry. Okay. I don't necessarily have to smooth it out like this. It kind of doesn't matter at this stage. All I want is just color laid down in there. Okay, but if you want to smooth it out or whatever, do one of these numbers, fine. You don't necessarily have to. The unevenness and the cragginess actually helps you when it comes to time to adding texture and stuff to this guy. But I want you to look at something. Hold on. I don't really want it too smooth. I want it kind of pointy and jagged and ugly-ish. Something like that. Go up there. All right. But look at this. You see your light source. So obviously it's going to be shunk. The sun's going to hit on the left-hand side. All right. But because it's such a sharp, jagged edge against all of that. But look at the depth that's created with this dark. All right, and you still got that little bit of light shining back there. Okay, you got some medium tone stuff happening up in here. Gets darker in the corner, obviously dark on the bottom, but you got all that light in here. All right, so I want you to Sonya, so Troll Patrol. I just want you to see what's going on composition wise. All right, what's happening. Okay, and once again, those silver linings help you out and help guide where that light source is coming from. Okay, so as you look at the picture, your eyes are going where I want you to go, which is pretty much up here. All right, but you got all sorts of goodies going on all up in the dark areas. You got interesting things happening. You got interesting things happening in the mid-tone areas, and you got interesting things going on in the bright areas. All right, and there are some things going on here you just can't see because it's kind of bleached because of the light. All right, you see where the light bulb is. Okay, and it's hitting all up in here. All right. Okie dokie then. I'm just letting it tack up a bit. All right. Okay. I'm getting rid of phone notifications here. All right. Let me show you guys something while we're waiting for that to tack up. I really don't like messing with this thing too much because, you know, it's weird. Let's see if I can do it. Yeah, there you guys are. Anyway, that's the tablet I'm talking to you guys in. All right. As you can see, all my tape and the water and alcohol bottles and the Windex over there. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit more. All right. This is the little typewriter thingy. All right, this is my little box of tricks. It's got a little bit of everything here, markers and paints, and you know, here's the glycerin. Here's the glycerin with the white paint in it. All right, obviously different sizes of tape, all types of tape. There goes my airbrush that I barely ever use ever. All right, this thing with the blue lights down here. That's the switcher. That's the reason why you got that and that right there. Okay, and of course this area right here. That's the switcher. All right, that's the remote for the switcher. That's the remote for the TV. You know, that you can barely see it, but it's there. Once again, that's the tablet that I'm talking to you guys with here. All right, all the water bottles, which are filled with water. Windex, alcohol, water, and empty. Okay. All right, let's turn it. Let's slide it over. Yeah, we'll slide it over here. What's over here? I gotta raise it up a little bit because you guys don't see it. Okay. Anyway, that's the modeling paste, right? Oh, that's the modeling paste. That's the rinse bucket that you see. There go the second small jar. All right, there go the one of my rulers. The dimes on it. All right, there go all the brushes. Okay, if I raise it up a little bit, you see more brushes up there. There they are. And there's the phone. There's the, Diana and Mary doing their thing, and I get to see their text here. Usually, I'm looking at you guys' text right here, as well as on the other side. There goes the garbage pail, as you can see, the one I keep throwing stuff in and missing. Okay, let me turn it around. Turn around. You just see all of my head move backwards. And there's some of the brushes back there. If I keep turning, if I move my head, okay, there. I'll just turn it. No, I'll bring it down. Excuse the back of my head. Anyway, see that blinking thing right there? This guy. That's the webcast. That's what's allowing me to be on either Facebook or YouTube. All right, today, obviously, it's just YouTube. All right. But that's what I use. It doesn't have an on and off switch. I just plug it, unplug it from the back there. Okay, but that is giving me the main picture you see here, where my shoulder is, and it's giving me right there that palette. All right, so it's giving me the picture of the palette, and it's giving me this whole picture right here. Right here, where you see my head. All right, that's going into the switcher by itself, so it's an overlay. That head picture can, no matter how I switch the camera, that head picture will probably just be there. Well, no, it won't, because if I turned everything around, then this head picture would be on everything. Right now, that palette will be on everything, no matter where I will put it. That's why if I press the button, the palette can go away, or I can have the palette return. All right. Okay. All right. So let's get off my head here. And let's go back up to this guy. Oh, this is also the reason why. This painting is compacted. Actually, this painting is actually this wide, but you guys can't tell that unless I put it on camera 4. Then you would see it would fill up most of the screen. It's a lot wider than what you're looking at, but it's this thin because of. Let's see if I can arrange my head, that and that, particularly this. All right, but that's why. So when I have the third camera on that looks at me as I'm looking at you, I have to put it in a way where it kind of condenses everything. Okay, I ran my mouth enough. We're good. Okay, so now that I've got this pretty much mapped out with at least a solid texture in the shape of the mountain, I can design it any which way I want to. Okay, I can have it either a lot more brown, I can have it either a lot more white. It really depends on what I'm looking for, what I want. All right, okay, so let's play. If I want more texture, I'll add the modeling paste, but I really don't have to because the paint that I put on here is doesn't have any. The paint that I have on here, it's gonna dry. All right, and it's tacky now, but it's gonna dry and it'll give me the texture that I'm looking for. All right, okay, all right. Let's add a little bit of brown, what's left of this brown, to this blue mixed here, and I'm gonna just keep mixing it till I get that grayish color happening. Now, even with the gray color that's going on with it, this funky off color, it's still gonna resemble the sky. All right, so what it's going to do is that whatever I choose to put this on, it's going to set the I'll spread it out like that. What's going to happen is that when I apply that, it's going to set whatever I apply further back because it matches the color back here. Okay, as we get up closer, the color will be a little bit brighter. I got paint all in my nails. Okay. All right, Shane. I know it. I know it's late out there in Australia. I appreciate you though. Thank you for stopping by. Yes, Shane lives in Australia. It's 13-hour difference now because of our time change. All right, a little thin layer. If you guys can see that here. If you can't, you'll see it up here. A little thin layer of paint there, really thin. Okay, I should use a smaller brush than this, and I will over the next pass. Now remember, the light source is coming from the right hand side. I'll play with this one first. I'll just kind of start it. I'll start it here. I'll kind of play around like this, very lightly. Come on down like that. All right, now I'm gonna use a smaller brush because it gives me a little more detail. I can play with things a little bit more. Another thin layer, and we're just gonna have fun. All right, so I got at least that one. I'll come here and I'll kind of chop it and mess with it, get as close to that edge there, and come on down. I'll just come on down with it like that. We're gonna just have a little fun. Let's add this one in here like this, just like that, and we'll come on down. We'll scoop it around in this area like that. I'll have it kind of come down like that. So I'm just playing with all sorts of interesting little patterns and stuff. I'll kind of kid around with some of that here. I'll bring a couple of them down like this, like little cliffy, edgy little things here. Okay. thin line causes all of that. Thin line of paint. Come out here like that. Get a little bit more. Just kind of play around with it. Just like that. Come out here. Boom. Add maybe a little something there. Come out here. Come down. If I can get it there. I know I can. I just didn't have enough paint. Come on down like that. Bring some up around here. I'm only going down so far. It doesn't matter. Okay. Let's get a little bit of blue. I'm gonna put it right here. So I'm going with some blue here. Probably a little more blue if I can get some out of there. A little blue, a little bit of this gray I got going on here. Hopefully I got enough of that. I should. All right, once again, same premise, but we're going the other way. Just go the other way. Turn it around. Going in the other direction. This guy is a little further back. That one's kind of going downward. Have it break apart a little bit. Up and run in here. Come on down. Some of what I'm doing you will see, some of it you will not, as I keep going on with the mountain here. It's kind of a heartbreak when you get like just enough and then kind of goes the pot on you. You don't have enough, but it's all right. It's okay. Just gather some more. Just get yourself some more color. I'm gonna still keep with this sable motif here. So a little bit of brown. Put it right here. A little touch of blue. Put it right in here. Slight touch more blue in that. Little touch of brown. The darker half of the mountain. I only got a little bit to do over in here. I'll do it in the letter U formation there. Just like that. I'm very mindful to how I'm doing this, to where I'm doing this at. Like that. All right, we're cool. We're cool. We're good. Just like that. We're good. Let's put the focus on that. Okay. So we've got like a back half here. Now remember where your light side is coming from. Okay. It's over in this area. Okay. All right. We're going to get another bit of mountain range going. Okay. All up in here. Okay. And as a matter of fact, we'll probably go I would like to go the opposite way. It might not, the way I got it, it might not let me. I mean, I could, but it would be too much space in here, so I might end up going this way, but that's okay. We'll add a little more. We're going to add a little more brown. I want a different look, so just going to add more brown to what you see here. Now, as I'm adding, remember there's green in this brown, so it's getting more and more green, but that's actually a good thing, because I'm going to show you why in a second. It's got a nice deep green to it. And that's because of the umber, the brown, that's the green that's in that brown, that's causing that. All right. Now, if I want to deepen that, of course, I would get add a little more blue, but the blue is going to make it that much more green. So we kill some of that green with I'm gonna use a alizarin crimson, which is a deeper, darker red. La 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 la. Don't need too much of this. It's gonna cancel out that green. All right. Just pop it right in there. It's all right. It's gonna brown it and cancel a lot of that green out. Now, as it does that, you see it doing it now. It's canceling out the green, getting more toward that mountain color again. Okay. All right. So we're going to take that mix and we're going to make another mountain range with it. I won't use the knife, I'll use a brush. Okay. Same premise as before. All right. We'll have it come flat like this. Then we'll kind of go up. Come down like that. Level it off a little bit. Come up into the other mountain like so. And once again, we're going to block that. Bring it down. How far down? It's really up to you. I don't have to make it perfectly all nice and pretty and neat. Won't matter, because you're adding texture and stuff to this. But even though it's a dark color, it's darker than what we have before it. You got me? All right. I'm just layering it just straight down there. And bring it right down there. Once again, there's no glycerin or anything with this. It's just me just really putting the color down there. That's all. All right. So as you see, what started as one mountain now turns into two ranges, one in back of the other. Got me? All right. Okay. While that is tacking up a little bit, let's get a little bit of, we'll get a little bit of white. Well, before I do that, let's clear this up. We don't need too much of this. I really don't want to contaminate the white with this, so I'll scrape some of this away. Alright, let's go back into the white here and pop it right there. What is that? No big deal. Alright, let's get a little bit of this sky blue color. Let's bring that back. And we'll put a little bit of it right here. Don't need too much. Little dot of paint to do. Okay. And so it's a little off-white, a little bit of that sky blue color, just a little bit, just to kind of not have it totally white. All right, let's put some highlights on this. Okay, all right. Let's get a very thin amount. The highlights obviously are going to be on the left side. Let's bring this in a little bit. All right. Okay. You follow the path of that sunlight that's hitting on the left side of the mountain. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's get a little love right here. Very lightly you pick the side of the mountain that's going to catch a lot of that love, and you bring it on down. Bring it as close to that top as you can. All right. Let's go here, right to the edge. Right to its edge. And we'll kind of bring some of that down in here. Have it come across. Meet it right here. Just like that. I gotta see where it's positioned here on the knife. Just like that. You only got a little bit that's hitting off of there, which is why I'm kind of really judging it there. All right. I guess I can get a little roll of something right there. Some refracted stuff there. Okay. Continue on. Very light. I don't know why I'm doing that to myself. There we go. That might be a little much. Thin it out. I like mine. You kind of picking, your kind of your style. That was a little bit much, so we'll kind of pop it out here, curve it around, and then we come down like that. A little bit of love up here. so we got a little bit of something right here, right in there, like that. All right, okay. I don't necessarily have to add anything on the other side. Won't be necessary. Okay. All right. Come on down, come on. Ugh. All right, we're right about in there with this one. All right, the other range here. I want this range to be a wee bit more on the brown side. We'll take this white with this brown, kind of blue and white, but you guys know what I mean. All right, we'll kind of marble it out like that. Thin it out like so. Don't necessarily have to be completely marbled or completely solid at all. Okay. Get a nice swipe across. Obviously, these are different color mountains, different plateau mountains. All right. Oh, I'll do something different. I already started with this, so we'll just kind of take this and we'll kind of go on along with the ride. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Bring it on down like that. Come on, like this. Bring it right on down. There's a reason why I'm doing the mountains this way. I'm gonna curve it, bring it on down like this. So you gotta follow me here. Watch what I'm gonna do here. Take this, come on down like that. Bring it on down. There's a reason. The method from a madness. Come on down. Turn it around. Drag it down. Drag that down too. Give me a little, take some off of here and bring it this way. Just like that. A little crazy looking, I know. It's okay. You'll see. You'll see in a second. Right up in here. You'll see in a second why I just did what I did. Bring it right down here to the bottom. Almost like a little plateau there. All right. Okay. Let it stay just like that. Let's get some of this, what's left of this color. It's all right. Go right into my white. We're gonna bleach that right out. Now, if you notice, even though we got a couple of different mountain ranges happening here right now, if you notice, there's no fog bank in between them. You don't need it because the colors are so drastic between each other. You got me? All right. Okay. I do believe I need some more cold coffee now. So you guys remember about this process here? Okay. And you remember what it looks like? If I can show it to you correctly, if the light hits it right, there you go. You see that? What's happening there? Yeah, you guys can see, there you go. I think you guys can kind of see what's happening. Yeah, right there. light hits it a certain way. You guys can see that. Okay. Once again, it's coming from the left hand side. And what I'm going to do is just a little tap and drag. Now remember, you have texture on here already. Okay, so the paint's going to catch all of that. All right, so it's going to be a different texture of mountain, a little more detail. And so you just kind of, it's omnidirectional. Whatever way you're comfortable holding the palette knife with this. And you're just going to kind of get a nice little tap. Just like that. You're just gonna get some off of here and just tap it in there. Really craggy, really rough looking guy right here. I can go in different directions with it. So I can keep the mountain, I can keep the color of the, I can block all the mountain a certain color. It will be the brighter rock color that's going to give you your texture and your highlight. You follow me? Bring it out here and have it go right off the page. And tap it right off. It gets wider as you can have it angled, but it just gets wider. Okay. So you're gonna have a distinct left and right side here. This type of texture, it takes quite a bit of paint. You're more of a tap and drag type of thing that's going on with it. The key to it also is to have your palette knife level to your board. I got it going like right off the edge there. All right. I want that darkness to stay right there. Just like that. All right. Hold on. Since I got some of this nice blue, I don't want the blue to go to waste. Got some of this nice little dark blue here. I'm gonna get a little bit of that light blue, pop it in there. It's a little bit, get a little off shadow there. If I feel it's a little light, I can darken it up a little bit. I'm gonna deepen it just a little bit. I got this blue, I don't want it to go to waste. So we're gonna get some refracted shadow. Okie dokie. Right in the dark areas here, you just take it, once again, get some of that cragginess in there. Wherever you want some kind of high points with that that dark stuff. And even though it's refracted shadow, you want to kind of aim it to where you might see a little bit of that happening. Just a little. All right. Just a little bit. Obviously, you want to deepen that corner there. I'm going to pop a little bit out here. That guy's got a power drill out there. He's getting an apartment ready, but unfortunately he has to do it outside, and it is brick. Well, it's not too bad, but man, he was out there when it was like 0 degrees. I don't have to add a lot of this everywhere, just in little areas. Right, we're almost done here. All right, so now we'll aim, well, before we do it, we get a little bit of white. We'll kind of spread it out here. Okay, all right. Just a little bit. All right. If I was wise, I would add a little bit of brown to it, but I don't have any brown. So, sorry. Little taps of white right on this edge there. Little touch. Directly into where the sunlight is. You gotta be very, very direct where the sunlight will be hitting on this. All right, because you already got the brighter color on here, so the brighter the highlight, the less of it you need, as I will hopefully successfully show you this example. And you just needed to hit spots where you know that sun is a direct hit with the sun. Okay. And you see how craggy, now it's a brighter color hitting various little spots where you know that the sun is making a direct beeline at. All right. And it doesn't have to hit every nook and cranny or where you think it would be. Sometimes it's just a little bit. Definitely right here. Almost like a line trailing up there. and you bring it downward. Woohoo! Yeah, ran out of white, but it's all right. We're almost at the end. Just like that. Okay, now that you see all of that, let's bring it back a little bit. 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 Of course, it's coming out of focus, but that's okay. Let's bring it back a little bit more. And right here, let's spread that out like that. All right, a little bit more. It's blurred out, of course, until I give it a nice little touch. It comes back in focus. Now, what I'm gonna do is take this off. All right, you'll still hear my voice, and it will just expand. So before I yet do that, you guys know what I'm gonna do. If there's anybody still here, let's get rid of this. Let's clean that up real quick. It's just Windex. All right. I used the bigger palette knife. Looks like I might have to hunt for some more palette knives. But even if I hunt for more palette knives, I do have larger plastic palette knives that can do this. Because I shouldn't be doing this with it, but it's convenient. So I just wanted to show you how easy it is just to kind of clean this stuff off. It comes right off, and it'd be ready for the next round. Yeah. Alright. Just rubbing alcohol. It leaves my room smelling like a hospital bed, but it's alright. And this stuff dries like super fast. Alright, here we go. There you go, clean as a bee. All right, let's get rid of this, and let's get rid of me. Just put it right on number 4 here. All right, that's the actual size of it. Let's draw it back a little bit so you guys get to see the whole deal. I'll put it back in focus. It doesn't take much for it to go out of focus like that. All right, as you can see right now. Okay, Madonna. Okay, Sonia. I think Jessica might be asleep. She can't hang, y'all. She can't hang. All right. Well, as you can see, darker set of mountains a little further back. The highlights are a little bit towards the color of the mountains. It still sets it back. These are way up front. Okay, a great deal. These are still probably a mile or two back still, but way up front. Well, it's back far enough where you're not going to really see any fog, but you notice that there's still enough dark here to give you that separation. So yet you have more depth. Okay. All right, you still got your bright spot, you still got your highlights. So now you have depth of field back there with all of that. It just, this dark naturally sets this up front. Even this sets this up front, because this is darker than that. Obviously this is darker than everything. Even with that same darkness, it brings these guys out more. Okay. All right. Who's first? I think this is first. So let's peel this off. I just gotta be careful with it. Once again, you don't necessarily have to have a border. It's truly up to you if you want to have a border or not. All right. All right, there you have it, guys. Don't necessarily know what I'll call this thing. I'll call it something. Mountain Pass. Maybe I'll call it that. But there you go. Once again, I really did not have anything to really paint. Nothing really came to mind. I knew I wanted to do something with the clouds and add a little bit more layers to clouds and all of that, which is why you got what you have out here. A lot of stuff happening up here. A lot of action going on, and there's different things happening all in here, and yet there's still an ending, and you still see the brightness there. Okay, which helps flatten that out. Okay, so there's an actual, there's a bottom there. Okay, because of that lightness back there, there's a bottom to this cloud. Okay, all right, not as much of one here, but there's still an underneath, but not necessarily a bottom. All right, that's just plain, just dark, stormy stuff going on back there. Okay, and once again, it's centered. Even though you see all of this, you're still centered up here. These lines help that. All right, so it brings you that way. Okay, so your eyes are still going to gravitate towards that spot. Okay, and everything's, if you haven't noticed, everything's in quarters. That's a quarter, that's a quarter, and then you got the final quarter here. Okay, so this is narrow to large, narrow to large, narrow to large, but it's almost in half. If you look at the area, you see this, and all you got to do really is flip it around. Okay, so you got narrow to large, narrow to large. Do you notice that? Large, large. Okay, narrow, narrow. Okay, a third here, you got a third here, and then you got the other third here. You follow me? So if you omit this, okay, all right, if you block that out, look at the space, third, third, third. Bet you didn't even notice that. You'll naturally have a tendency to see this. You follow me? Okay. But it's actually equal, because you got a half. You got a half here, but you got the same half here. All right. Yes, for those of you who hate math, math is an art. Sorry. So there you be. Oh, thank you, Madonna. So, my. It's 2:45. And a little after 90 minutes. So, we're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad. But then again, I'm also showing you guys stuff and all of that. Yeah, palette knife texture gives you a different form of rock when you add the palette knife. Which is why I did it up front. Okay, because of the type of texture that it does give. This is more of a slightly chopped up version of the Bob Ross way. I just didn't take the palette knife and just go all the way down, all the way down, all the way like he does, because it would give you that Bob Ross type look, texture thing. Okay, I just took it and just really just shortened it. Same pattern, but just shortened it. And even going on the other side, same pattern, just shorten it going the other way. Okay, this type of pattern that I'm doing is omnidirectional. You can hold whatever way you hold your knife. Okay, but you can easily guide the shapes to wherever you want a little bit more. You got a lot more control doing it this way. All right. Okay, enough of me running my mouth. Thank you guys for joining me in this. I'm gonna, well, my big TV has Diana and her on, so I'll probably continue watching them. They're gonna be on for a minute. I'm gonna take a picture of this, and you guys know the deal. I'll put this on Facebook. I'll put it on Instagram. I gotta make a thumbnail of this for this video and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll probably just call it, maybe I'll call it the Borgo Pass, but then again, it's not enough wild trees and stuff like that, so maybe I just call it Mountain Pass. Maybe I'll call it that. All right, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Be safe and enjoy your winter solstice. I shall see you.